I want to move on from this topic a little bit and get back to what we were talking about with Governor Newsom.
Right.
Because him and Charlie Kirk, again, went back and forth for a while, but I was not happy with the way Newsom responded to a lot of his talking points. Let's go back here and play this clip real quick.
Party that for the health of the country would be great to change is that Democrats cannot survive in long-form podcasting environments. Well, it's too unscripted. It's too masculine, honestly. And the Democrat Party's, what do you have the masculine about a podcast, honestly? Because I get the whole manosphere that shit roasted. That's it goes into the wilderness with no rules and duel it out and see who's better or who's strong. No, seriously. I mean, like, what's every broad scale? What? No, I mean, like, we don't do that, but you're right. We, for whatever reason, don't do it. You can laugh, but, like, who in the Democrat Party? We're not. You're right. We'll go. I mean, maybe Bernie Sanders, but he'll more okay when he was a Democrat. Bobby, who's now HHS. But, like, there's something to be said that if you want to earn the respect of forgotten America, you have to show them that you can intellectually joust with no script, no hard breaks, no producers in the ears of no teleprompters. Well, that's where new media is going.
I don't understand the ways in which Republicans seem to attach a hierarchy to everything sometimes. Charlie Kirk threw in there that it's about dueling it out man to man in an unscripted environment. And to me, it's just not that deep, bro. Like, it's not that deep. You've done work to organize on college campuses. Great, good for you. But I think attaching this over-the-top sense of self-importance to yourself for having conversations in front of mics and going and making fun of a party that doesn't doing it is completely missing the point. That being said, the first thing he said is something I want to talk about with you. Mm-hmm. He said that Democrats aren't masculine enough to host podcasts. You're a male Democrat. You're also a veteran.
Right.
You've served your country. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine that you're someone who takes it well when someone emasculates you just for your political views. What would you say to Charlie Kirk?
Look, I don't know who this guy is, or really, I've never watched his show or anything, and I really have no opinion of him. But I mean, look, we're here, we're starting it. I don't know why he has that thought. The one thing I will agree with is we need to do more of this, right? I think,
yeah.
On the Democratic side, Republicans, let's just say, Republicans have really jumped on this platform. They've kind of gone out there. They've been in force. I remember Matt Gaetz had a podcast. I think Ted Cruz had one. A number of Republicans out there have kind of gone out there and done it, right? And we have not. I think we've kind of, for whatever reason, have not, have kind of taken more of the traditional kind of steps of trying to do that media more. But that's got to change, and it is something that we need to start doing more. We need to get on more podcasts. I know that's something we're trying to work on in the Democratic, the Democratic caucus. Is like, hey, get out there, be part of this. But I don't think it has anything whether or not, whether you're masculine or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's something that bothers me a lot, because I think with the way Donald Trump presents himself, mm-hmm. in contrast to some Democratic leaders, I think there is a big perception out there that Democrats aren't masculine. That
I mean, if Donald Trump is your definition of masculine, if he is the example, then I don't know if I want to be that guy. Mm-hmm. That's not who I want to be. Mm-hmm. But I think if it's just kind of saying stupid shit and having it come right off the top of your head.
Having three wives and a mail order bride and kids all over the place and cheating on your wife with a porn star. That's the most masculine thing you can do, right?
Yeah, it is not the example that I want to uphold to, right? So, I guess maybe we got to come up with another term then, right? If that is your definition of masculine now, that's not what I want to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do live in a time where young men are having less sex than ever before, I think. And if that's happening, and you see someone come out and say that there are these problems in this country that, or let me backtrack for a second. Let's say you're a young man and this is the environment with social media and increasing isolation. All of this contributes to less sex and activity with young men. It's happening to both young men and women, but young men particularly. And then you see rhetoric from the other party, the Democratic Party, particularly on the left sometimes, that tells young men that they shouldn't give their opinion, that their opinion doesn't matter, or...
Who's saying that? Democrats? Republicans?
I think there's a perception. I'm not saying anyone in particularly in government is saying that institutionally. But what I am saying is that I think if you, in some spaces with certain, you call them social justice warriors or people further on the left, young men will get the perception that, oh, there's a movement away from like saying what I think matters. And I don't think it's true at all. I think young men and men overall still hold so much power professionally and institutionally in the society that it doesn't even make sense. But then you get someone like Trump that's like, saying, yeah, I'm going to grab him by the pussy when he was running for president the first time, and is the reason why we appeal Roe v. Wade, and is the product as a result of so much anger of the people who in online spaces say things like kill all men or we don't need men. That's going to result in those particularly people who maybe feel as though society is moving in that direction to support someone like Trump. And I don't think it's has the right logic at all. But what I'm saying is Charlie Kirk internalizes that message. And as a result, he's like, yeah, the Democrats, you're just not masculine, you guys. You guys drink like oat milk lattes and go read books with your tote bags at the park. And Republicans, we have energy drinks for breakfast and we drive trucks and we do podcasts. And, it's, again, not actually rooted in what the definition of masculinity should be.
Right.
Because my definition of masculinity is a man who's able to put and does put other people before himself. That doesn't describe the Republican Party.
Yeah, I mean, right, masculinity to me is the same way, right, as somebody who's able to provide for his family, to take care of himself, to have responsibility. To me, that's the definition of masculinity.
Right.
It's not, ensuring your wife is, barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, or telling you or somehow feel that you have to put women in their place. And look, they got this bro culture now they're talking about, and I don't know if that's just some kind of reaction to the feminist movement that's been kind of going on there.
You're right. It is.
For years or whatever, right? But everybody wants to be treated with respect, whether you're a man or a woman,
right?
And a woman should have every right to succeed as a man. And I don't think anything has kind of been pushing or really stopping men from succeeding. It's like, you look at them. I always use the military, right, as kind of like, I always say the military is a microcosm of the rest of the country.
How so? What
is going on in the military is it's going on in smaller portions, but it's the exact same thing that's happening actually in the rest of the world, right? The military is facing mental health issues, right? It's not just something that it's happening in the military on a smaller scale, but it's happening in the rest of the country as well. But you look at who's the leadership in the United States military, and it's like around 95% white men. It's pretty much what you're seeing in corporate America too, right?
Yeah. Does that make our military more masculine, you think?
No.
Okay. Why? Because I think some people,
I think some people like, kind of feel like that's the thing, right? If like, oh, we got a woman admiral who's the chief of naval operations. Oh my God, how did we get to this point to where we're letting a woman lead our one of our military branches, and they kind of might see that as like somehow it's the Navy is not masculine anymore because of that view, or because they have a woman that's in charge. Or same thing with the Coast Guard. They got rid of the commandant of the Coast Guard, who was a woman as well. It's just, look, everybody deserves the same access and opportunity to succeed as anybody else, and they shouldn't be denied that right because they're a man, a woman, because they're black, white, Latino, Asian. They all deserve, the equal chance to succeed. That's why it's diversity, equity and inclusion, right? We want a diverse population. We want diversity. We want everybody to have the same equal chance, and we want it to be inclusive of everybody. And that's what it should be. And they want to say that, it's anti-racism, but it's not, right? It is. When you're denying people a chance to succeed, there's your racism right there.